Got a pile of mailbag items. Alright, where do we start? Let's put these big light items over here, stack the rest of these over here. And we'll just leave all these here because there's no room. Night light. Oh, it's supposed to be clear. Ugh, idiots. These are supposed to be transparent. And the color is supposed to be the LED color. But I guess they aren't. I guess you pick the color and that's... I don't know. I'm pretty sure these were supposed to be transparent. I thought these were going to be transparent with the color of the light inside. Apparently that's the color of the ball. And that's just a multicolor light inside. No, I would have ordered this properly. I don't know what happened here. This was going to be like a diffusion ball for, but it looks like it's really crappy inside. I'm going to use this as a diffusion ball for LEDs, and just to take that off or ignore it, because I like to source something a little bit bigger than that. I think I used to have these floating ones that were had a base that you could remove, and it was because it was sealed. And I want to find those again. They're really cool. But they make for cool little diffusers, big round diffusers. This is probably another night light. Yes, light. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Here we go. Yes, they have different shapes, which I thought was really cool. Okay, so this one has the screw off. So you probably know where I'm going with this, if you've been following me, if you follow me at all. This is a multicolor ball. It's got pretty good diffusion. It's got, you know, these things are poured in a mold, so they get those lines inside of them. But it's not too bad. And they're nice and hard. So I think my idea with this is I should be able to produce a base. Let me get this stupid screw out. I don't know what they're like stuck. Alright. Alright. That's the battery cover. Oop. See what's inside them. There we go. Alright, so there's an inner diffusion shell. I wonder if you can get that out. It rotates, but it must be pinched in there, compressed. I don't know if they form this around it. I don't think so, because it's free spinning. And I would probably want to get rid of that diffuser. You could break it out, because if you're not going to reuse it, but it does clamshell it in there, so that gives you your posts. So that's pretty cool, I thought. This would be good for like just a little wireless indicator that you can charge. Maybe you could fit some kind of Wi-Fi in here, and maybe you could fit a battery, even a small lithium battery, because you only need it to work for a day between charges. It's not much to work with right there, but I bet I can fit an ESP module in there. If not, maybe an ESP07 at least, or an 8285. And I'll have plenty of room for lights. I could do 3 lights, or maybe just do 4. Yeah, stick to 4. And this, you know, my board's a little bit bigger than that, but I put a lot of stuff on here that I don't need. So look at that. I should totally be able to shrink this down to fit on that. Not a problem. I mean, LEDs are going to be the biggest problem. So maybe I'll just hardwire this with a box next to it and just use it for now. Just use it as a, or maybe make something that this screws onto that has a little, you know, little box. Because then you're 3D printing this piece and not the whole thing. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back together just so I can see it work a little bit more and see what the diffusion of. I mean, that's one LED. And it looks pretty good. I mean, I would really like to get in there and be able to clean up the walls. That's not screwing into anything because they are a little imperfect. But if you're going to use this as a night light, whatever. We'll just put that back in there and leave it. So that's it for that. So you can get really nice color there and lock it. That's not bright at all, but with NeoPixels and 5 volts, it'd be very bright. All right, next, 7 change color fox shaped LED candle. Oh wow! Whoops! Oh. Packages are falling. This is going to be another so they have all these little animals. Oh, that's really small. I thought it was going to be about that big. I guess I didn't even look for dimensions, but they have all these little shapes. This is kind of like the little I got this last week. Little Hedgehog. So I think they got all the Chinese year animals, but then they got some other ones over here, like Puddle. There's a Drop. I haven't seen any of these though. I've only seen these popular ones. These are probably very popular because they're year of the Chinese New Year. You know, Chinese animal symbols. Year of the, you know, the rat, mouse, whatever. So this guy is tiny and just red. Oh no, it's multicolor, and the printing on there is terrible. And it's a really shitty plastic, really cheap plastic. It's like a soft but very brittle. This one's a little rugged. This is nice quality. These little ones are like a harder plastic. They don't smell. That's the good thing. They don't have a weird plastic smell. So, but those are a little too small to probably do anything with. But maybe we could figure something out. Maybe we just put an AT Tiny and some animations or something like that. This says modules. I thought there was nothing in there. All right, this is an ESP something. I thought I ordered an S. That looks like to be an F. Maybe I think I accidentally ordered 2 Fs and an S. So this should be coming. Unless somebody sent me the wrong thing. Yeah, this is an F. ESP12F. I'll need some of those to prototype with. says elect, doesn't say. Alright. Oh, where'd they go? Oh, they fell out. Oh, did I cut the bag open? Oh, son of... Cut the bag open. I always do that. 0805 tantalums. 10 microfarad, 22 microfarad. Just some stuff I don't have. I don't have a lot of tantalums. I don't buy kits of tantalums unless I buy them when I need a value. Endoscope. Oh, my door doesn't have a... I thought I wanted to put a camera, like a ESP camera, on my front door, but I didn't realize I don't have a peephole. So I bought this cheap one on eBay. It's the cheapest thing I could find. The finish is really crappy, but it's got a cover. There was a nicer one for a little bit more, and I didn't see it till after I bought this. I would have spent the extra 60 cents and bought the nicer one. This is real crappy. I don't like this at all. Oh well, I guess I'll buy another one. But maybe you could use this as a lens for something. I don't friggin' know. All it does is it's a fisheye, so maybe for recording some weird stuff. Maybe I'll just install this. It's a standard bore size, so I'll install this and then I'll buy a nicer one. And it goes from whatever 50 millimeters to... But then I'll be able to mount a camera to this side and just have a door cam that watches my door without having to put a camera on my porch. Maybe add a motion sensor somehow. Yeah, that's just a privacy cover, but I would probably take that off because it looks cheap. And you can't see anything when you look through my door, it's just a wall. So you're not going to see anything if there's a camera in there either. So I probably don't even need that. Non-electronics. This doesn't say. Actually, I ripped the label off. I was trying to get the barcode, the real barcode for tracking. What did I do with this? Where'd it go? Well, something fell out of that one. I don't know where it went. I think it's another strip of I don't see where it went. I'll have to look under my desk. Probably went right under my desk. I think this was another package of small tantalums. They probably were just loose, and I think I just dropped them. Whoops. Iron. Oh, these are I bought some really cheap Hacko tips. Oh, and these are really cheap. I didn't know if there was going to be a difference between the $5 ones and the $16 ones or whatever. But these are not good at all. I should have just got the black ones. Or some of the more official looking ones. And these were definitely knockoffs. There was no... I didn't look for anything that said Hacko. I looked for something that said... you know, whatever the keywords were. They're good sizes though. I really just need some junk tips for, you know, doing large things. And I want to see if they had I think they call them a shoe tip with the little solder well in it. They don't, so maybe I will modify one of these. They're cheap enough to not care. I'll drill out a well for drag soldering. And I'm not going to use it very often, so it's not going to really matter that it's going to be not plated. Unless I could always electroplate it back. But they don't make those for the Hacko FX Triple D. I think a third-party company does, and they're not cheap. They're not worth it. I can drag solder with extra flux. It's not a big deal. But I wanted some extra tips. I have like 4 official tips. but I don't want to use them all up, just soldering nonsense. LM75. This paper's so hard to cut. I'm better off cutting these with the scissors. Yeah, some kind of SMD. Oh yeah, LM75s. These are temperature sensors, high-speed temperature sensors. I want to add temperature sensing to a board. These are probably the cheapest way to do it, I2C. I mean, a BMP sensor and an SHT sensor is pretty expensive. There are generics, like the HU, whatever. But these were even cheaper, and I think these are counterfeited, but I mean, these might be real, but I think they're copied. So these are easier to find. They're very common. They've been around for a while. It's a LM75A. I put a footprint for that on my next project just to test it out, to see. I have a module, but I want to test it out on a board and see how much board interference there is with temperature sensing. With an ESP, I'm sure there's tons of it. All you're going to do is detect the ESP temperature, but I want to see if you can compensate. Bolts. Alright, this looks like the same package. I think these are M1.4 hex capped bolts. Yeah, these are nuts. These were kind of came together to look exactly the same. It's the same exact package with the same size. Yeah, this is from the same seller. These are the M1.4 knurled inserts for those. I was originally thinking I wasn't going to have much size. Like a really small PCB, you might want to still mount it, or at least have mounting for the USB so that you can put it in an enclosure and not have it move. Like, maybe one screw to tack it down if you're press fitting it. But M2 screws are way too big. The caps, they're not much bigger than these, but the caps are much bigger. So the amount of your circuit board that you can't use is really large, and these are really small, and they still work really good. They have really good threads, even though they're 1.4 millimeters. They are much better than like a self-tapping screw. Self-tapping are usually about M1s or M1.6s or something. And I bought some of those too, so you can just self-tap into a 3D printed, kind of like the way these work. These are just self-tappers right here, and you just make a hole, and you can screw right into it. But you can't really redo it. You unscrew a couple times, and you kind of ruin those. So I bought some pressed inserts. So now I have hardware for prototyping in M1.4, M2, I think I did M3s. You really don't want to need higher than that unless you're, holding a fixture down or attaching something to something else. Because they're pretty big. Definitely not for circuit boards. Tantalums, more capacitors. All right, these are more tantalums. These are 100 microfarad. That's the bigger ones, the 3216A. I don't know why they're bigger. I guess you can't get. Maybe if you get a special capacitor, you can get a 100 microfarad in a 805, but they're probably really expensive, and the voltage probably is not that high. OLED. It says OLED. I'll have to spread these out a little bit. Running out of space. This is a big mailbag. All right, here we go. Get that over there. This is an OLED. I think it's the skinny ones. I don't have any of the skinny ones. Yeah, so this is I don't even know what size this is. I guess it's 28 by 64 or something. 128 by 64. I don't really know. Yeah, I don't really know. I forget what on the top of my head. I forget what size these are, but they're very small, and you can put them in very small projects. Sometimes you just want to show the status and an IP address or something, and these are fairly cheap. I think maybe $3. An I2C, so you're only using 2 pins, and if you're already using a bus on your board, you're not, using any extra pins to show a lot more information to a user than you can from just a light, a blinking status light. And it's only, you can offer it as an option, and it's only $3, or they can add their own module to your project. Drill bits. I'm not mumbling. Alright, these are PCB drill bits. I've ordered these 3 times, and I've finally got one to get delivered. I don't know what happened to them all. I don't know if customs was stopping them. Maybe they fall under some kind of machining import. With the new wow, that was nice. Very cheap, but very nice. No flutes. I think these are just drills. But the import tariffs and stuff like that. Maybe they were blocking them, or maybe they just got lost. I think the first one said the package was wet. I'm like, whatever. And they sent me another one, and I didn't get it. And then I ordered this, and I got this. The cases are really nice. I don't plan on drilling holes in PCBs. I used to. I don't make my own PCBs anymore. Oh, I like that you can take these off and just put them on. These are really nice. I like these. That's very cool. I'm gonna buy more of these cases for different bits. But sometimes you just need to make a hole bigger when you make a mistake, or you're trying to put a really thick gauge terminal block in a perf board or a proto board, and it just doesn't fit. So you can just drill it out a little bit. And you'll still keep the copper. You just drill it out a little bit to get it in there. And if you have like a thicker, wider pin, you can always drill out the sides to make it fit in a little better. So I just got some of those, and they should chuck into my Dremel. So if I wanted to, if I want to buy a drill press for my Dremel or build one, I could drill PCBs if I had to do something at home. If I needed to etch something, because I needed a fast turnaround. More tantalum capacitors. Alright, these are those black ones. These are 0805 10 microfarad, which I already got, but I don't know why I ordered. I guess I ordered those just to have them for my prototyping kit, and then I think I bought these because I need them in my projects, in my prototype boards. I didn't want to use up those. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm just stocking up on some tantalums because I don't have any, and I hate taking them off boards. Don't know what this is. I couldn't get the label off, but I tried. Because there's a label underneath it, the real label, and this was routed somewhere else. Oh, these are Coax. Yeah. I think it's the RG176s. Let me check real quick. Oh, I gotta turn the heat off. Turn the heat off.
It's off.
RG316 and RG174. I always forget that. 50 ohm. Yeah, it's 50 ohm coax. This is basically small coax. If you can use this for instrumentation and antennas if you don't need the bigger cables. These aren't as good, but in fact they make them a lot smaller too for like inside laptops and stuff. These are pretty big, but I wanted these for leads to make my own test jigs, or to you know, connect something that needs to be shielded and matched. There was something specific I bought these for, and I don't really remember right now. I don't remember what I bought these for specifically. I think I was going to... I don't remember. I really don't remember. There was something I was going to do with these, and I have to remember what they were for. I don't remember what they were for. I think it has something to do with my function generator. I needed to come out of my function generator with B and C, and maybe I was going to break it out into banana jacks or something like that. I don't really remember. Maybe I was going to use it for my oscilloscope to measure, instead of using scope probes, I was just going to make a little test jig or something. I don't remember. If I remember, I'll post it. And that's it for now. Yeah, so this would be cool. I'm gonna go ahead and see if any of these fit. See how they fit on my official Acco. Let's put this this weird one. All right, let's see if I can measure that. Wow, that's really that deep? Holy crap, yeah, I guess that is. Wow. So that's about 21, oh, I'm sorry, 25.5 millimeters. About. I should just use my other one. And this one is... Oh, so this one's a little shorter. So this is what why I'm checking. You see that space right there is the space that this is not going to be touching the tip. That's why these tips don't work properly, because the tolerances that they're designed to are not. Well, that's not dead on either. The real one, look at that. There's 2 millimeters out. 2 millimeters out. And that's another. Well, these ones are dead on, so let's see. These ones should like almost touch. I wonder if you could put some kind of thermal compound in there. That'd be awesome. To transfer the heat even better. Make these more efficient, but then it would get all over the... Yeah, so that's, I mean, that's 0.5 millimeter away from the tip. And when it expands, maybe that'll make up the difference. Maybe that's just a tolerance that's built in. So when you put that on there, your heating element is all the way up to the tip. Almost. I mean, you know, you don't feel it bottom out, because then it would break. Now this one... is not even close. This one, I'll show you. This one is about 2 millimeters difference. Yeah, so it's a much bigger difference. So I think a lot of people shove a copper shim in there or something, or take a piece of steel wool and shove it up in there. Or they do something, I've heard. So let me see if this is consistent across all of these. Let's pick this big fat one. It's good for soldering wires. That seems to be a little closer. Yeah, that's a little closer. That's only about a little over maybe 1.5 millimeters. There's a little variation in them. There's about 0.5 millimeter tolerance. That's probably why they're so. That's probably why they're so bad. They're probably. These are probably forged and then milled. No, there's polished in the bottom of the hole. Unless that's a slug that's inserted and welded? Or thermo welded? But I would think this is just a rod with a slug at the end and they mill it down to that. Now, I don't know if they milled the inside or not. It looks pretty rough and corroded, but there is shine in the bottom of that hole, which it would be if it was. It does not look milled out. No, that one's not shiny. Just that one. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm going to have to check all of them before I decide to use them. Some of them are different shapes. This one, why does this one have so much heat capacity? The wall thickness is much bigger. So let's check that one. Because that one's a totally different size than the other ones. This one's a totally different width. I'm not going to measure it, but yeah, it's about the same. 26. You can see it's still not very close. So these are not going to be very good. You might just have to turn your temperature up, which means if you use these all the time, you'll burn your elements out faster because you're going to be running it. That doesn't go in there. You'll be running it at over 200 C, greater than what you need to run it as. You know, which is ridiculous. You'll have to replace your wand, your element at least, which is not worth the money. Just buy good tips. I can never get the tip where I want it. I wish yeah, there we go. It's not where I want that tip. It's the hardest thing is trying to find out the natural weight of your cord. That's why I want a nice like JLB iron, because they're much more delicate and short. That's not bad, that'll work. Nothing like worse than having a flat. That's what I hate about wedge tips, is that the orientation is a little precise. Has to be where it's supposed to be. That's still not where I want it to be. That's better. Yeah, one of these, probably next year I'm going to get a new, a real soldering iron, like a JBC or the Hacko, was it 950? That's it. Till next time.